Ladies and gentlemen, today you're about to hear from a man who didn't just build a company, he built a revolution, a visionary who believed that innovation begins in the mind, not in the machine. The co-founder of Apple, the pioneer behind the iPhone, the iMac, and the iPad, Steve Jobs didn't follow trends, he created them. His words have moved millions, and his ideas have shaped the very technology we use every day. Today, we dive deep into the philosophy that made Apple one of the most valuable and admired companies in the world. This isn't just about business, it's about mindset. No, most people build their ideas around what already exists. They look around at what others are doing and think, let's just make that only a little cheaper, or a little faster, or a little prettier. But that's not how real progress happens. That's not how breakthroughs are born. Innovation doesn't come from imitation. It comes from imagination, from looking at a blank space and seeing not what is, but what could be. That's the difference between making noise in the market and actually making a dent in the universe. From the very beginning, the goal wasn't to build just another computer or another phone or another device. It was to build something that felt like it came from the future, something intuitive, something human. The idea was never to simply add features or compete on specs. That's surface thinking, that's short-term thinking. The question was always deeper. Can this product inspire people? Can it empower them? Can it feel like an extension of who they are? When people zig, it's okay to zag. That's not being different for the sake of being different. That's being authentic. That's being bold enough to trust your gut when the crowd is heading in opposite direction. Most of the world was designing beige boxes with keyboards. It made sense. They were doing what worked. But the question that always mattered more was, what if there's a better way? Great ideas don't scream. They whisper, and sometimes they whisper only once. If you're not tuned in, if you're too busy copying others or focused only on making a profit, you miss them. That's why it's not enough to be technically skilled or financially backed. What matters is the mindset that values curiosity over convention, that sees simplicity not as the absence of clutter, but the presence of clarity, that understands innovation isn't just what something does, but how it makes you feel. Look, the best products in the world aren't built in boardrooms. They're born out of passion, out of obsession, out of sleepless nights and stubborn belief. The challenge was never about having more resources than the competition. In fact, in the early days, we had far fewer. The real advantage was focus, a clear vision, a refusal to settle, a hunger to do something meaningful, something that didn't just serve the moment, but shaped the future. Think about the tools people use every day: phones, laptops, music players. Most of them existed in some form before they were reinvented. But no one asked the right question. Why do they feel cold? Why do they feel complicated? Why don't they feel joyful to use? Once you start asking better questions, you start building better answers. That's where real success begins. Not in features or functions, but in experience. It's not enough to build a product that works. It has to feel right. It has to make sense instantly. No manual required, no instruction needed. Just a clean, seamless interaction between human and machine. That's not a feature, that's philosophy. That's the mindset behind every decision, every line of code, every material chosen, and every pixel placed. And when you get it right, when you stop chasing the competition and start chasing your vision, you start to create things that connect with people on a deeper level, things they don't just want to use, but love to use. Things that fit into their lives so naturally, they can't imagine life without them. That's the magic. Not technology for the sake of technology, but tools that amplify human potential. The truth is, innovation requires bravery. It means risking failure. It means standing alone sometimes when everyone else says you're wrong. But that's okay, because if you're going to build something truly great, something truly original, it won't be comfortable. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Because success doesn't come from doing what everyone else is doing. It comes from doing what only you can do, from seeing what others can't, from thinking different. Because at the end of the day, the real measure of success isn't how many it's you sell, or how big your company gets. The real measure is impact. Did it matter? Did it move people? Did it challenge expectations? Did it make someone's life better, even in a small way? That's the kind of success that lasts. That's the kind that echoes. That's the kind that inspires the next generation to dream bigger, to create more, and to believe that with Right mindset, anything is possible. You know, most people think design is how something looks, the shape, the color, the surface. But real design, the kind that endures, is so much deeper than that. It's not just about how something looks. It's about how it works. It's about how it feels when you hold it, when you touch it, when you use it every day without even thinking about it. That's when design becomes invisible. That's when it becomes part of your life, and getting to that point takes an obsession most people aren't willing to live with. Good enough was never good enough, every curve. Every button, every font, every animation had to serve a purpose, not just to be beautiful for beauty's sake, but to be functional, clean, and precise. If something wasn't essential, it didn't belong. If a feature didn't create joy or clarity, it was removed. Because simplicity isn't just a design principle, it's a discipline. It takes more time to simplify than to complicate. But simplicity is where truth lies. Simplicity is where real elegance is born. I remember spending hours on tiny details no one would ever see. Why? Because we would know. The integrity of the product depended on every piece, not just the parts people noticed. You can't fake craftsmanship. People can feel it. They may not be able to explain why, but they feel it. When something is made with love, care, and intent, it communicates that through experience. And when something is rushed, compromised, or engineered just for cost, well, that communicates too. That's why the inside mattered just as much as the outside. Even the parts hidden from view had to be clean, organized, and deliberate. Because pride isn't just what you show the world. Pride is what you build when no one's watching. That's what separates a product from a commodity. That's what builds loyalty. That's what earns trust. Too often, people chase features. They try to outdo the competition by piling on specs, numbers, buzzwords. But that's not how you build something meaningful. That's not how you connect with people. You connect by understanding them, by empathizing with their needs, frustrations, hopes, and then you design from that place. You remove barriers. You reduce friction. You make something that feels natural, intuitive, almost like it was made just for them. Perfection doesn't mean flawless. It means intentional. It means you cared enough to not stop at this works. You pushed until it felt right. And sometimes you don't find that feeling right away. It takes revision after revision, saying no to 1,000 things so you can say yes to the one that really matters. That's where the magic happens. That's where timeless products are born. Not from adding more, but from refining what's already there. And the truth is, most people will never know how much thought went into it. They'll just feel the result. They'll turn on the device and feel calm instead of confused. They'll open the app and smile instead of scroll. They'll hold the product and feel like it belongs, not like it's another piece of technology, but like it's something they trust. That's what great design does. It builds emotional connection. It becomes more than just a tool. It becomes part of your story. When you care about the experience more than the bottom line, people notice. Maybe not right away, but over time that care compounds. It becomes loyalty. It becomes word of mouth. It becomes culture. And culture is what builds a company that lasts. This mindset, this relentless focus on design with purpose isn't always easy. It means saying no to quick wins. It means having long debates over small things. It means throwing out a near-finished idea because the details weren't right. It means starting over, again and again. But that's the difference between something that's just used and something that's loved. And if you want to build something great, something that matters, you can't settle, you can't compromise, you have to care deeply about things others overlook. Success doesn't come from chasing trends. It comes from crafting experiences, from caring about the user more than the profit, from refusing to accept mediocrity, even when it's convenient. Because when you put that much heart into what you build, people feel it. And when they feel it, they remember it. And when they remember it, they come back, not just to buy, but to belong. A lot of people start with the wrong question. They ask, how can we make money? Or, what product will sell the fastest? And sure, profit matters. You need money to build, grow, and survive. But if you start with profit, you end up chasing numbers. And when the numbers shift, and they always do, you lose your direction. You lose your soul. The right question isn't about what's profitable. It's about what's meaningful. What matters to you? What problem are you trying to solve? What impact are you trying to make? The mission always comes first. The mission gives you clarity when things get hard. It guides every decision, from what product to build to how to speak to customers. Without a clear purpose, you'll make short-term choices that feel right in the moment but take you further away from where you truly want to go. But when the mission is strong, when it's built into your DNA, you make decisions that stand the test of time. People can feel when something was built with intention. They can feel when it came from passion rather than a profit model. You can't fake purpose. You can't manufacture authenticity. That's why every product has to start with a belief, not a business case. You have to believe so strongly in what you're building that even if no one else sees it yet, you keep going. You keep refining. You keep pushing because you're not doing it to cash out. You're doing it to create something that should exist in the world. There's a huge difference between building a product and building a legacy. A product solves a problem. A legacy inspires a movement. When the goal is to serve something larger than yourself, whether it's empowering people through technology, changing how we communicate, or making the world just a little more connected, you unlock a kind of energy that can't be measured on a balance sheet. When the team understands the mission, they work differently. They push themselves harder, not because someone's watching, but because they care. They sweat the details, they challenge each other, they stay late not out of pressure, but out of passion. And that passion is contagious. It spreads from the team to the product to the customer. Suddenly, you're not just selling something, you're sharing something, and that's how real loyalty is born. It's easy to get distracted by what the competition is doing, to try and catch up, to try and match every feature or price, but that's a trap. If you're constantly reacting to someone else's strategy, you lose your own. You start building for the market instead of for your mission, and the market changes every quarter. The mission is what lasts. The mission is what people remember. Some of the hardest decisions come when doing the right thing means doing the hard thing, saying no to opportunities that don't align, walking away from fast profits that compromise your values, slowing down to get it right when everyone else is rushing. That's when your mission is truly tested, and that's when it matters most, because those moments define your brand. Not your logo, not your marketing, but the choices you make when no one's watching. Purpose-driven leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about staying anchored when the waves come, because they will come. There will be failures, setbacks, disappointments. But when you're driven by a mission, those moments don't break you, they strengthen you. They remind you why you started. They sharpen your focus. They reignite your belief. And make no mistake, when people see that your purpose is real, they rally behind it. Customers want more than products. They want to be part of something they believe in, something that reflects who they are and what they value. When they see a company that stands for something, that dares to build differently, they remember, they tell others. They support you even when you're not the cheapest or the fastest, because they feel connected. They feel like they're part of the mission too. That's the real success. Not just revenue or market share, but impact. Did the product move people? Did it make life easier? Did it empower someone to do more, dream bigger, or feel seen? That's what matters. That's the kind of success that can't be copied, can't be bought, and doesn't fade with the next trend. Because when you lead with purpose, profit follows. But when you lead with profit, purpose gets left behind. And once purpose is lost, so is everything that made it worth building in the first place. There's something powerful about not knowing all the answers. Something valuable in being the beginner in the room. Most people are taught to chase expertise, to have it all figured out, to be the smartest person in the meeting. But when you're the smartest one in the room, you stop learning. You stop asking questions. You stop growing. That's why staying hungry and staying foolish isn't just advice, it's a mindset. It's a way of living, building, and leading with curiosity instead of ego. The moment you think you've arrived, you stop moving forward. Real innovation, real creativity, real growth, it all begins when you admit you don't know everything, when you approach every challenge with fresh eyes and an open mind, when you're willing to unlearn what worked yesterday so you can discover what's possible today. That mindset is where breakthroughs begin, not from certainty, but from wonder. There's no manual for building something new, no roadmap for changing the world. You have to trust your intuition. You have to experiment. You have to fall flat sometimes and get back up even faster. Most people avoid failure like the plague, but failure is the best teacher. The lessons stick. The scars become strength. You don't grow by being right all the time. You grow by doing, trying, iterating, and daring to look foolish in the process. Every great idea started as a crazy one. Every bold leap looked like a mistake until it wasn't. The key is not being afraid to look wrong for a while, to build when people don't understand, to keep going when the market says no, to trust the vision even when the results aren't immediate. That's what staying hungry means, never being satisfied with what already exists, never assuming the best work is behind you, never settling for what's safe, and staying foolish. That's where the magic is. That means letting go of fear. It means allowing imagination to guide you, even when logic says it won't work. Some of the most revolutionary products came from ignoring the experts, breaking the rules, and following a gut instinct that couldn't be explained, only felt. That kind of foolishness is powerful. It breaks boundaries, it challenges tradition, it reshapes entire industries. You can't innovate with a mindset of protection. You can't create something bold if your only goal is to preserve what you already have. Comfort kills creativity. Complacency destroys momentum. That's why it's important to surround yourself with people who push you, people who ask what if instead of what now, people who aren't afraid to challenge assumptions, to experiment with failure, and to move fast even when the destination is unclear. Being hungry means you're always chasing next challenge, not out of insecurity but out of purpose. It means staying alert, aware, and committed to pushing past limits. You don't let past success lull you to sleep. You use it as fuel to keep going, to keep building, to keep asking better questions, because the second you stop being curious, you stop evolving and being foolish. That's about believing in things no one else sees yet. It's about imagining what could exist instead of being limited by what does. It means trusting yourself when the world says you're wrong, because deep down you know you're building something that matters. Foolishness isn't recklessness, it's bravery. The bravery to believe that the future can be better and that you're the one to build it. The world doesn't need more people playing it safe. It doesn't need more copies, more templates, more watered-down ideas. It needs people who dare dream differently, who look at limitations and see possibilities, who use creativity as a tool for progress, and who aren't afraid to start over again and again until it feels right. That's the mindset that changes everything, because no one changes the world by staying comfortable. No one builds something timeless by following the script. The best work happens at the edge of uncertainty, when you're stretched, unsure, and still moving forward. That's where true leaders are forged. That's where real innovation begins. Not when you have all the answers, but when you're bold enough to keep asking the right questions. So don't be afraid to take the leap. Don't be afraid to look foolish for believing in something bigger than yourself. And never, ever lose that hunger. Because the day you stop reaching, the day you stop risking, the day you stop wondering, that's the day the magic stops.